of what I have done since Christmas. This is part two of part two, technically, because I fucking failed miserably and accidentally pressed the end recording button. But I've just remembered that technically it's really slow of me to be doing these videos from Bandicam when I can literally just record them straight off my laptop and not have to worry about a time limit. Cause I guess I'm just doing vlogs now. I was using Bandicam before because I was trying to catch what was on my screen, but now I've just been feeling really yappy and seeing like people on YouTube do this shit. And I got a mic a long time ago for music purposes, so now I'm just using it. And I love it. But part two of what has happened since Christmas break, I got a six-string guitar, um, and successfully homebrewed my 2DS and tried to homebrew my Wii. Did not work. So the Wii, the reason why is because I don't have a spare SD card. So I'm gonna try to get one and see what happens when I get paid. Oh, it also snowed on campus and in my hometown, which is like 40 minutes away, but like separate weeks. It snowed here last week and some classes got canceled, and it snowed there yesterday, meaning my mom can't cash my check because my checks get mailed to her house. My stipend, she gotta cash my checks, dog, and the roads aren't allowing her to because she's a teacher. So like she gets off today, so I'm like, cool, she can cash my check. No, no, not till it's safe to drive. And I forgot. So now I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? But it's okay because, as I said in the last video, I can still go grocery shopping because of my campus bucks that get loaded to your card. Which, by the way, don't know many universities that do that. Didn't know the one I picked did that, but it's a huge blessing. But anyways, I got a six-string guitar as well. But I'm like, oh, and a pedal. I got my first pedal. But we're gonna get into the music part of that later. The Wii, because I had a USB stick instead of an SD card, because I just found some USBs like a few months back and was like, I'm gonna keep these just in case. Because like a geek like me, when they find storage, I'm like, word. And so I put them up, and I need one for my music composition class, which I actually can't even find it. Because it fell into my backpack when I was trying to get out of the building because we had a fire drill or threat because somebody burnt something. And I was like, fuck. So I don't know what happened to it. I'm gonna have to dig in my backpack for that. But the other one is in my Wii because upon reading on the internet to successfully download the stuff you need, I'm not gonna go too into detail just in case Nintendo decides to demonetize me, even though I'm not even trying to really make that much on here right now. It's kind of just like a, it's just kind of like a, I like YouTube, you know? But I couldn't get it to work. And I was watching videos after giving up on it, realizing, okay, well, maybe, like seeing how other people did it, and some guy was able to use his freaking SSD like solid state drive, and he said something along the lines of his Model Wii has to use one of the specific lower USB ports. It's closer to something. So I'm gonna try that because mine is on the top. But if that doesn't work, then whatever. I haven't played my Wii since that failed because I was so mad. And I only have one game from my actual Wii if I don't use Dolphin. I just use Wii Sports. I mean, I just play Wii Sports on my actual Wii because, like, I just didn't like see a need and wasting money on physical copies of things when I bought it to hack stuff. And I was tired of playing Dolphin and not figuring out like motion controls, not knowing how they work. Because I know there's a way to like seamlessly put them in there, put it into the app. And I also didn't even have a Wii remote until I bought the console anyway. So like there was really no way I could use motion controls anyway, to my knowledge. If I'm wrong, then like correct me. Like you can use motion controls with an Xbox controller or some shit. By all means, please let me know how that works, because I'm not that techy. But I've been using like stuff like that in the games since I was really little, but I've been using stuff like that since I had like a childhood friend that taught me about like ROMs and stuff like that. And it was cool, you know. Um but I'm a bassist. So into the music conversation. You see this man right here? That's Jeremy Davis. We love him. I don't care what people say about whatever happened with Paramore before. We don't like Josh Farrow. He's homophobic, but Jeremy Davis, love him, and I listen to his solo stuff. Shoot me if you disagree. You see this man right here? I love him. He's also a bassist. He's Greg Jahanian. I love all of these four in Me Without You. That's Aaron. He's the lead singer. That's Ricky. I can't even point opposite. That's Ricky. He's the drummer. That's Mike. Him and Aaron are brothers. And Mike plays guitar. Greg plays bass. Okay. They've also had like other guitarists help them. The last one they had before they ended. And I'm so sad because I got into them after they stopped touring and making music. But Brandon Michael Beaver was their last guitarist, and he's okay, I guess. He was also in Buried Beds. Check both of them out. This is Haley Williams and Aaron Waith. But I'm really excited for those their live albums to come out. And then Paramore's supposed to be doing some new stuff too. But I like This Is Why. When it came out, I remember, and that's what made me a huge fan of their entire discography. But I grew up with like Brand New Eyes, like Playing God, Ignorance. Everybody likes Misery Business, but That's What You Get was literally the first fucking song I ever like learned in my entire life. The first song I ever heard was Please Don't Stop the Music by Rihanna. And then, like, probably a few weeks later was That's What You Get in the grocery store, ironically, after throwing a tantrum. That's What You Get just starts blasting on the freaking store speaker, and I just stopped crying, and I'm like, ah, no, sir. And yeah. And every like couple of years I would go back to Paramore and see what the heck they were up to, and now I'm just a huge fan. So yeah. But I play bass, right? So I bought a six-string guitar this Christmas because I was like, why the fuck not? I've always wanted one and I've always like played around with music and stuff. I grew up in my bio family is very musical, so I still live with them. Like I would play keyboard, like my aunt taught me like the basics because she was 5 and she's like past unk age now, like she's almost 70. But she like to give you an example and she still plays now, you know? So I play by ear. But when I got this guitar, I also got a pedal, and I've always wanted a pedal for my bass. But the guitar pedal, the pedal works more with my guitar than my bass. I've kind of gotten used to the feel of it, using it just with my bass to help. Like, I think it helps my drive personally, and I think the tone sounds different. Not too much different, but the guitar, there's so much you can do with that pedal. And you can even like let me just hold on. So, if you want a starter cheap pedal, and like one of my friends who's in a band, I used to go to high school with him, but I'm in college now. He's about to graduate, but we had like a lot of classes together, and I graduated with his sibling. Um, Behringer pedal because he plays a 6 string, and he recommended this because there's even like a bass only setting. You see it? And then the effect is like a distortion fuzz of sorts. There's a ringer setting to make your strings ring more. There's a stabilizer to kind of like neutralize how both output. There's a mix for like the specific effect to mix with your tone for like your instrument. I think that works better with bass for me. And that's all. But like even with these tiny little, you know, it's an octave divider. So, self-explanatory. Like your first 3 strings, if you have it on like bass only for a guitar, that's all I'm gonna say. If you're a 4 string player, it helps. It freaking helps. I play, like I said, I play by ear, so it's not like I really know much of what I'm doing with 6 strings, and it's so much more difficult with me because I know like basic chord finger formations, and by that I mean like 2 or 3. But I'm not like too bad, but I'm not really good in my opinion either. In my opinion, I play the bass a lot better now than when I started, but I feel like that instrument in me, it's just simple for me to play. I don't know. Maybe it's because I am void of most emotions, as most basses are. We're built different. Nah, but like in all seriousness, I don't know. Like the whole thing about I want to make like a separate video of just like the whole generalization about basis and like why they're so overlooked or whatever. I don't know. I think it's a really good like topic. But yeah, that's part two. I don't want to stay here and yap too long because this video is the first one I've made that's over 10 minutes. Yippee! Because all the other things I record on give you like a 10-minute limit. But other things I want to do is probably like yap, but have it organized. And I'm gonna have to probably do this over the summer because I have way too much schoolwork this semester to be sitting here planning out like videos and not a lot of resources when it comes to like editing and stuff like that. Especially because thanks to your favorite orange in office, he decided to fucking get rid of CapCut, but threaten us with TikTok for like the third time in 2 years and then just give that back. Give it back in quotes. Now, again, like I said in part one of this, I'm a history major. I want to be a history teacher. So like politics and things like that, I personally believe you should exercise your vote. And my favorite high school teacher, his name was Mr. Majors, he said, and I quote, democracy is not a spectator sport. And I believe that. Not to get too political, but I mean, you see that I'm a queer person of color, so that's all I'm gonna go on with this one, okay? But I guess after saying that, people out there that are affected by it, stay safe, do what you gotta do. Don't act dumb. Don't act out in hate, even if you're tempted to. And I'm saying that for myself too. Sometimes I gotta chill. But the tism gets so real. Like sometimes I just feel like my strong sense of justice wants to justice somebody up their ass. Like, but you can't, because I've already had two court cases. Didn't go to jail for either. But that's even funnier. That probably is going to be my third vlog as to why I had the two court cases. The first one was kind of stupid, and the second one was really stupid, but actually I did do something, but it was in self-defense. The first one was just some stupid family dispute that we actually all got over. But it was like my friend's family, like my best friend's family, and it wasn't even like against me. It was supposed to like protect me, but the way they did it ended up getting me a court case by accident, and I was like, what the frick? So, yeah. But I think we're just gonna end it there. That's pretty much like I think part two was just more of a rant because I could take advantage of not being under 10 minutes. But oh yeah, the 2DS. I felt like I kept forgetting something. So the 2DS, right? That was fairly simple. Homebrewing a 2DS. 2DSs to me, I grew up with. I got a DSi when I was 5 because I wished for like a Game Boy and I opened a DSi. So I'm like, oh, cool. What the heck is this? I started playing on it and it came with New Super Mario Brothers DS. And let me tell you, my collection only grew. I had like Wappy Dog. I don't know anybody in the world who remembers Wappy Dog, but it was literally this freaking robotic, like, dog toy thing that came with the game. So it was like Nintendogs, but better because like there was a real life like interactive Bluetooth dog toy that responded to the game. And it's cool. It was cool. Then my Wappy stopped working and I stopped playing it. But it was cool as frick. And I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon growing up, but my friends got me into it anyway, and then I got in trouble several times when Pokemon Go came out, and I had to like put skins on my phone to hide the app. Cause like I said, my bio people were heavily religious. So there was no Pokemon for me because they were like watching those freaking sermons on the internet back when the trend was like
Oh, like those freaking televangelists out there saying that Pokemon was demonic and stuff like that. Like a whole bunch of religious parents jumped on that. And like my aunt was the minister of music at our church, which is like pretty close to being a PK. Not the same, but pretty darn close to give you a like, you know? So that was a tight leash. But that's also why I'm really, really fond of music. And I think video games and music definitely have a lot in common. Like, there's rhythm games, there's like Mario Kart 7. When I got my 3DS, is basically when I asked, and it does have to do with church because I had to sing something for church. I was so nervous. And my aunt had me practicing for hours for this. And she put my name on it. Like, I didn't want to do it. She made me do it. And then was like, oh my god, you did so good. I'm pretty sure I was pitchy as frick. But, I sung the solo, I did it, and it was Christmas Eve. And then Christmas morning, I wake up, didn't even wish for it. A flame red Nintendo 3DS with Super Mario 3D Land. I'm like, cool. Then my hands got too big, so I ended up getting an XL a few years later and a Wii U like the next year. And I'm saying all of this because her kids also grew up in the same house and had like a Wii. The girl had a Wii and the boy had a GameCube. So my first game I ever played was Sonic Adventure 2. But when I moved out, all of those things were still in her house. So that left me with no consoles of my own. So on my first Switch, when I was in my senior year of high school, and I was like replaced back into a different foster home, and now that I'm in college, I started buying like all of these freaking, I don't know, all of these consoles and whatnot every couple of months when I could afford it, or if there was like a special holiday or something. Like, I'm treating myself. And I gotta say, hacking a 2DS is so cool because I never had Tomodachi Life, and my friends had it growing up. So playing it now, I have like this Paramore Me Without You mixed island. It's so cool. And I have 3D Land, I have Mario Kart 7. I can beat anybody in Mario Kart 7. I'm telling you that right now. I'm so good at it. It's my favorite Mario Kart game to this day. Fight me on that one. I feel like it's such a well-made and underrated game, you know? But video games and music, back onto that rant, they're just so big to me, and I think that I guess maybe it's because like hand-eye coordination has to do with both maybe, but the way they can tie into each other so well is just so cool. So I just hope that maybe when the Switch 2 comes out, that the backwards compatibility rumors are true for Nintendo 3DS. Maybe we could even get a port for Tomodachi Life. Low key, that would make me kind of mad though, because I just bought my 2DS. But I'm tired of Nintendo's like remakes and all of that. And I'm like, oh, arg. Like, can we please? Can we please? What I hear that whistling? Alright. But what I might do is I think I'm gonna end the video here with just I guess if you are a gamer, comment what your favorite games are. I also have an Xbox One. My cousins also had Xboxes in that household growing up, like the boy cousin, the same one that had the GameCube. He had an Xbox One when it came out, and he had an original Xbox, but I never got to see it. He also had a SNES. It was really cool. But he got the Xbox One, I think the same Christmas I got the Wii U, and that shit was fun. That's when I played Halo and everything. And um nowadays, like, if it's not Nintendo games, I play like Fortnite and Power Wash Simulator and like Gang Beasts and stuff like that. Like casual. Oh, and Stardew Valley. I finally not Stardew Valley. What is that? I think it is Stardew Valley. I got into it a little while back, but I haven't loaded it in a while. And Minecraft, like, duh, I have a Minecraft backpack actually. After this rant that I have gone on about music and video games, I hope everyone can find solace in whatever game they're playing. You can comment like whatever game you're into. I would love to know. What game has your attention? If you're a musician, what instrument do you play? What are your favorite bands? The whole 9 yards. Next video I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna go into that bassist rant because it's such a deep topic to me. Like, why are bassists so underrated? I might get in trouble for that one. Like, nobody wants to talk about serious shit like that, but I do. But anyways, stay cool. Don't green out. Don't tweak out. But stay chill.